Good morning, guys. I'm so glad that you're listening this Monday morning. It's holiday week. We have so much to be thankful for. So I'm super excited about that. I will let you know it has been a crazy morning already. Second cup of coffee, second video. I got the first video completely done, and I tune everything out in my world. And all of a sudden, I'm not hearing anything around me. And I listened to the video before I put it out, and it has my dog moaning the entire 5 minutes in the background. It sounds like demons manifesting or something. So I was like, well, I'm going to have to redo it because, so if you hear anything, any moaning, it is my dog's. And I'm sorry, because it's kind of a crazy morning here. So I'm going to jump right to it. I want you to read in your time John 11. It's about Lazarus. I'm going to give you the really quick overdue. So Jesus had three friends, Mary, Martha, Lazarus. They were sisters and a brother. And Jesus was away with his disciples, and he got word that Lazarus was sick. And he waited 2 days, and then he left. Well, by the time he got back, it was 4 days. Lazarus had died, and he had been dead, and he was buried. And it was there's so much to the story, but basically he goes and he raises Lazarus from the dead and reveals himself as I am the resurrection and the life. And so he needed to do it like this. You know, this aspect of Jesus needed to be revealed. And so it needed to be done like this. But can you imagine what that felt like? Like, this is your best friend, and you know that that he could raise him from the dead or heal him before he ever died, and he doesn't come. So it says in verse 5, it says, so although Jesus loved Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, he stayed where he was for the next 2 days. So he waited 2 days to even leave. You know, there are things that we're waiting on, that we have asked, that we know we've been promised, because as soon as he heard this, his words were, so the two sisters sent a message to Jesus telling him, Lord, your dear friend is sick. But when Jesus heard about it, he said, Lazarus' sickness will not end in death. No, it happened for the glory of God, so that the Son of God will receive glory from this. And so he spoke that he wouldn't end in death. Well, he died. And so there are things that we know that the Lord has spoke to us, you know, and we're waiting. And in the wait part, we are tempted to start questioning. Why is this happening? Are we loved? Are we not doing enough? Do we need to pray differently? You know, did he forget us? This is fake. This is not even real. We're tempted to question all of these things, and that is completely natural. And so if you're at a place you're waiting on something and you're there, you're questioning, you're wondering why, I just want you to remind yourself of verse 5, that in that he loved them. He loves you in the wait. He has a greater purpose for this. We do not always understand it, but he has a greater purpose. And they would not have known Jesus as the resurrection and the life if they didn't walk through this. And not only them, but us today. You know, I mean, God sees the whole picture. And so we see right in front of us. All we can see is our temporary situation. And so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we all have things that we're waiting on. And it is no fun to feel like whatever we've been waiting on is dead. You know, things most of the time aren't literally dying, but we have to go through a grieving process. I know that I have had things that I've waited on that I felt like I have grieved and have to walk through that. But what the Lord wants us all to know and be reminded of, that he is aware that it is hard for us, but that he loves you in the wait. It's not about questioning why or any of the questions. It's about being reminded that he loves you. He loves you in the wait. And he has a purpose and a plan for you and for me. And that's what he wanted me to remind you today, that there is purpose and that he loves us. And so in that wait, I want you to have a great week. I am praying for you, and I will see you tomorrow.